Yesterday, Sayadaw explained that the path leading to Nibbana is praised as Ariya. Ariya means pure. Ariyo ti parisuddho, meaning the path leading to Nibbana is pure in every aspect. When it is pure in every aspect, it is high and noble. When the body and speech are pure, the body and speech will be uplifted. And when the mind is pure, the mind is also uplifted. By developing knowledge, the person becomes even more uplifted. And by developing knowledge, one is uplifting one's behavior by body, speech, and mind. As much there is purity, the person's body, speech, and mind will become higher and higher. Ariya Magga is the pure, noble path. And in Virata Sutta, they does not mention the factors. There are 8 factors, Attangika, meaning there are 8 factors of the path. 3 factors of Sila, morality. 3 factors of Samadhi, concentration. And 3 factors of Panya, 3 factors of wisdom. So the 3 factors of Sila, morality, consist of Samma Vaca, Samma Kammanta, and Samma Ajiva, right speech, right action, and right livelihood. And it is also called Sila Sikha, morality training. By taking vows to refrain from such things, the person is said to be removing the transgression. As much one can refrain from these transgressions, one's body and speech will be blameless, pure, clean, cultured, and gentle. Being able to refrain from these transgressions, the internal heat will also be suppressed. There will not be any action agitated with raga, lust. There will not be agitation with dosa, and thus there will be calm and peaceful and lovable. As much one can refrain from things that should be refrained from, the person's body and speech will be pure, cultured, gentle, and lovable. One has to control oneself not to commit wrongdoing. In this way, one should control oneself not to do wrongdoing so that others will not get hurt physically and mentally. In this way, one should also protect others from being hurt physically and mentally. In order to be Ariya, in order to be pure, one should be practicing. In order to be pure, one should practice so that there will be purity moment by moment. The path leading to Nibbana has the quality Samma Dukkakayagami, meaning that by practicing according to the teaching of the Buddha, by practicing systematically, one will be reaching the state where it is free from the suffering. One should have faith and confidence in this path, that this path is correct, and one should practice accordingly. One should speak truthful talk, and one should talk straightly, that brings unity, and one should talk gently in a tame, cultured way, and one should only talk things that are meaningful. And there should be samma kammanta. One should refrain from killing, stealing, sexual misconduct. Yogis who are here, they are refraining from all kinds of sex, and thus there will be samma kammanta. And also there is right livelihood, samma ajiva. In this way, yogis are fulfilling all three kinds of sila, sikkha, morality training. By fulfilling sila, sikkha, morality training, there will be samma dukkakayagami, meaning the person is reaching the extinction of defilements systematically. As much one can refrain from wrongdoing. If there is 5 minutes of refraining, there will be 300 moments the person is reaching the state where the kilesas are coming to extinction moment by moment. And if there is refraining from 1 whole day, there will be purity in body and speech for 1 whole day. And in this way, refraining from 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, the purity of body and speech will be greater and greater. So even by the practice of sila, sikkha, morality training, there will be purity in body and speech, and one is practicing the path leading to the extinction of the defilement in a systematic way. By practicing sila, morality, the quality of sila, sikkha, morality training is samma dukkakayagami. By practice of sila, one will be reaching the state of purity where the defilements are removed systematically, moment by moment. If the person does not practice Satipatthana meditation, one will not gain the samma dukkakayagami. In the word samma dukkakayagami, samma means systematically, dukkha means suffering, kaya is the extinction, the suffering become extinct where there is no chance to arise. And gami means the path leading to. Dukkha are the sufferings in the form of the 3 vata, the 3 rounds, kilesa vata, kama vata, and vipaka vata, round of defilements, round of deeds, and round of resultants. So these 3 rounds are called dukkha, suffering. The kilesa, defilements, are called suffering as they lead to good and bad deeds, which are sankhara dukkha. And due to the sankhara, good and bad deeds, there will be good and bad results. So in this way, good and bad deeds leads to results and subsequent results. All are suffering. The extinction of all these sufferings are called dukkha-khaya. And by practicing Satipatthana meditation, one's body and speech will be purified, and by overcoming the defilements, there will not be bad deeds that lead to lower existences. So in this way, by removing the defilements, kilesa-vata, kama-vata, and vipaka-vata will be cut. By practicing sila, morality, gross form of kilesa-vata, kama-vata, and vipaka-vata will be cut. In the sila sikha, morality training, one should make the habit of refraining from things that should be refrained from. There are three kinds of sila. The first one is avitekamo sila, meaning that one refrains from wrongdoing, one refrains from transgression. Knowing that one has the responsibility to refrain from inferior things, to refrain from transgression, one has the appamada, non-negligence, non-failure of refraining from transgression. And it is called virati in Abhidhamma. It is the mental factor of virati. Even though one may have the circumstances of transgression, one refrains from them. One refrains from these transgressions, and it is called virati sila. The second one is samvara sila, the practice of restraint. One practices the restraint of the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. So one does not look, even though one wants to. One does not listen, even though one wants to listen. So in this way, one practices restraint of the senses. One does not let go the mind freely, and one practices with mindfulness so that there will be restraint. Samvara means blocking, restraining. It doesn't mean that one has to close the eyes all the time. It doesn't mean one has to block the ears, or it doesn't mean that the nose has to be blocked. But it means that one should not look, even though one wants to. One should not listen. In this way, there will be restraint of the senses. Even if one has to look, one has to look mindfully, so that there will be samvara sila. The third one is cetana sila, practicing morality in volition. So one has the determination that one will refrain from wrongdoing when he or she is in the situation of transgression. Even though they are not things to be transgressed, but one has the volition that one will refrain from these transgressions. It is Cetana Sila. The yogi who is practicing, they are refraining from wrongdoing, and thus there is Virati Sila. Through the practice, yogi is practicing the restraining of the senses, not looking, not listening, and thus there will be Samvara Sila. And there is also Cetana Sila, having the Cetana volition that one will refrain from transgression, even when they meet the circumstances of transgression. So there will also be Cetana Sila. The Kaya Ducharita, Vaci Ducharita, and Mano Ducharita are the misconduct by the body, speech, and mind. If one does not practice Sila morality, failing to refrain from transgressions, then there will be Ducharita, evil conduct. If one does not control one's behavior, the person's physical behavior, physical and verbal behavior will be dirty and polluted, and others will also get hurt and harmed. In the case of killing, if the person commits killing, not able to control the anger, then the person is failing to observe the responsibility as a human being. Failing to control one's anger and committing killing, the other will be harmed. Not being mindful, there will be pamada, negligence, failure, heedlessness. And when there is pamada, negligence, failure, heedlessness, the person will let one's mind go freely on the evil conduct, and thus the person is morally degraded, the person becomes dirty, polluted, as well as others getting hurt and harmed. As a good person, one should refrain from these wrongdoings. Refraining from these wrongdoings, there will be apamada, non-negligence, non-failure, mindful, vigilant, to refrain from wrongful things. Even if there is circumstances of transgression, one should refrain from these wrongdoings. So there should not be any negligence, failure, heedlessness to refrain from things that should be refrained from. So there should be apamada. One should not fail, one should not be negligent in refraining from things that should be refrained from. By refraining from these ducharita, evil conduct, there will be sucharita, good conduct, and thus others will not get harmed. By practicing sucarita, good conduct, the other persons are automatically prevented, protected from being harmed. And his or her practice is called Ariya, pure and noble, and the person is said to be reaching the state where the sufferings are coming to extinction systematically. When the lobha, dosa, moha, greed, anger, and delusion are becoming extreme, these extreme defilements make the person to transgress. Indulging in these defilements, there will be transgression and wrongdoing. One should avoid oneself from transgression. One should refrain oneself. By refraining, one will be removing gross defilements. The defilements are called enmity. The enmity in the form of unwholesomeness, akusala vera. In other words, they are also called enmity in the form of defilement, kilesa vera. As much there is refraining, one will be removing the defilements, not giving chance for these defilements to arise. By practicing restraint, one is overcoming the enmity, and there will be avera, being free from enmity. By overcoming the enmity, one will have internal peace, being free from the internal enmity, and one will also be fearless. Having committed wrongdoing, there can be remorse, regret, whenever the person recalls his or her wrongdoing. Remembering the wrongdoing, there will be regret. The person cannot even sleep or eat. There can be Attanuvādātaya, self-blame and self-criticism. By fulfilling sila, morality, the person will be free from Attanuvādātaya, self-blame and self-criticism, and there will be freedom from enmity and harm. When the person commits wrongdoing, the person will be blamed and criticized by the wise person, wise people. So there will be Paranuvādātaya, being blamed and criticized by the wise. By refraining from wrongdoing, the person will also be free from Paranuvādātaya. Having committed wrongdoing that are not allowed by the law, then the authority will punish the person. There will be Dandātaya, the danger of being punished by the authority. Refraining from wrongdoing, the person will also be free from Dandātaya, the danger of punishment. Having committed wrongdoing with bad volition, such bad volition will lead the person to lower existences, dukkati-taya. By refraining from wrongdoing, the person will also be free from dukkha, the danger of falling into lower existences. So in this way, by practicing refraining, the person will be free from enmity and danger. Practicing the sila, morality, refraining from wrongdoing, there will be peacefulness, being free from enmity and danger. So this is the quality of the sila practice. By refraining from wrongdoing repeatedly, the person will be fulfilled with sucharita, good conduct, and one should keep up the quality control of his or her sila practice so that his or her sila, morality, will always be kept pure and clean, and his or her body and speech will also be pure and clean, and it is the systematic overcoming of the defilements that lead to nibbana, and one fulfills the quality of sila sikha. By practicing Satipatthana meditation, by being mindful of the presently arising object with sustained mindfulness, sila sikha, morality training, will automatically be fulfilled. And there is Cetana sila, having the volition of refraining from transgression. Practicing Satipatthana meditation, sila sikha, morality training is fulfilled, and one is free from akusala vera, enmity of unwholesomeness, and kilesa vera, the enmity in the form of defilement. And thus the person will also be free from bhaya, danger. As much one fulfills sila continuously by the practice of Satipatthana, in 1 hour there will be 3,600 moments of being free from enmity and danger. And in 1 day there will be multiple times of 3,600 moments being free from enmity and danger. By noting the presently arising object with sustained mindfulness, there will be multiple times of fulfilling sila, morality, moment by moment. And there will be appamada, non-negligence, non-failure, and one is continuously developing, fulfilling sila, morality, by the practice of sila, by being mindful of the presently arising object. One should be fulfilling appamada by practicing Satipatthana meditation continuously. At the stage where one attains Sotapatti Magga, the first path knowledge, one will become totally free from akusala vera and kilesa vera, enmity of unwholesomeness and defilement. By attaining Sotapatti Magga, the first path knowledge, the vera, enmity, and danger will totally be removed to the point of no return, and one will be totally free from attanuvada bhaya and so on. In the text, vera is defined as the killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, taking intoxicants. These 5 are called Vera and Miti. By practicing Satipatthana meditation, one will be overcoming the enmity momentarily, moment by moment. And by developing Samadhi and Panya, concentration training and Panya training, one will be weakening, suppressing these defilements, so that one will be overcoming enmity. By developing Vipassana Jnana, insight knowledge, Magga-phala Jnana, path and fruition knowledge, one will be removing the defilements, and one will be removing the defilements. So by the practice of Satipatthana, there will be Samvara Sila, the morality in the form of restraint, Cetana Sila, morality in the form of volition, and one is fulfilling Sila, morality, that is the foundation of the human being. Practicing Sila, one will not be hurting, harming others, and thus others will not be harmed physically or mentally. Through the practice of Satipatthana, it is even quite satisfying to fulfill Sila, morality. Morality is to be practiced by all the persons, all the people in the world. Everyone in the world should be practicing Sila, morality. It is not only the Buddhists that should practice Sila, but everyone of any religion, any belief, should practice Sila, morality. Sila, morality, is the discipline, the world discipline. So it is the discipline of the human being to practice the Sila. By practicing the Sila, the quality of the person will shine, and the person will become shining with good qualities. Failing to practice the Sila, the person will be morally degraded and inferior. Yogis who practice Satipatthana meditation, they are noting every arising object. By practicing Satipatthana meditation, one is refraining from wrongdoing. There will be appamada, and one will shine with good quality, and the person is morally uplifted. By practicing Satipatthana meditation, one is developing the 8-fold noble path, and one is uplifted morally, and there will be Ariya, purity. By practicing Satipatthana meditation, one gains Samma Dukkha-kaya-gami, one is reaching the path where the sufferings are coming to a cessation momentarily by practicing systematically. And tomorrow Sayadaw will explain how Samadhi, concentration, and Panya, wisdom, is fulfilled by the practice of Satipatthana meditation. This will be all for today. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.